What's up, guys? HTG Brian here, back with some more LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. This is Maz's Castle Free Roam. That's right, we're taking on Takodana. Finally, it's our final planet area. We're going to ring off a couple of trophy achievements, one for getting all of the data cards, one for completing the area in the galaxy, and of course, one for completing all of the events in the galaxy. If you've been following along with us, you should get all of those too. We're also going to get 29 Kyber bricks, 6 character tokens, a couple of ships, and like I already mentioned, that final data card. Now, as my computer appears to take flight again, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but it is pretty loud and proud. Here we are up in space, and if you've been following along, you probably just got done completing Bespin, not only Cloud City, but the spatial area as well. And you can see here, we just got that Kyber brick, and we are on to bigger and better things. Now, real quick tidbit about the next little spot. We actually, as we take off to Takodana, we're going to notice we actually have one of the 29 Kyber bricks. The reason for this is that while we were trudging around on Coruscant through the Uskru district, we had to take on a mission called Dancing with the Stars, which actually required us to take on this first Maz's Melody Kyber brick. Now, normally I would go ahead and jump out of the ship and do a bunch of Kyber bricks close by the landing pad, but in this case, we're going to go ahead and work our way inside to the castle and go all the way to the back right corner. Now, if you already did Coruscant, the Uskru district, you can actually just skip ahead to the next Kyber brick on the list, and you should be good to go. If you have not done it yet, if you've not done Coruscant, this guy will not be standing there. He's actually going to be triggered by starting a mission over on the Uskru district. And in fact, we cannot progress his part of the mission until we do this here. So if you're just joining us and Maz's Castle is the first free roam you've done, I'm going to recommend you go to our playlist and follow that order. But if you're set on completing this before jumping into our order, just know that you're going to have to jump over to Coruscant to get that other guy to pop up. So, all right, the stage. You might notice there's some bouncing bricks. We're going to go ahead and assemble what's there. And you know my motto, when in doubt, smash about. So once you've got nothing else left to build, go ahead and destroy everything and rebuild those bricks into an astromech panel. We're going to switch over to BB9 because he's who we've got out. And, of course, we'll solve this puzzle from the inside out. And once we do that, we actually have to wait about 10 or 20 seconds for this music mourner to recognize that we have fixed the jukebox. Oh, starting to get their groove on. And look at that. Maz's Melodies complete. Now, in this particular video, we would continue and we would use the Force to make some people dance inside that circle, and that would complete the Dancing with the Star Wars. And you can see they're still dancing. We've gone ahead and jumped into real time, so we are no longer living in the past. We are actively collecting and doing things in real time. And next up is going to be the Rathtar Smokehouse, which we've got this giant piece of Rathtar, I guess, cooking away there. And there's, what do they call these things over here? Is it bellows? Is that the word I'm looking for? The fire bellow? That feels right, but it sounds wrong. Anyways, go ahead and jump on it a few times. It's going to reveal a few bouncing bricks, build them into a push switch, and push it all the way around, which will reveal a grapple pug. Go ahead and pull out your favorite plug popper, and we'll go ahead and... That's right, look at that. Booyaka show! Rathtar Smokehouse Kyber brick is now ours. All right, next up, we've got Maz just chilling here, and this is a double whammy. It's actually going to task us with solving a Kyber brick puzzle, but also going to be a character quest as well. So like I said, it's a double whammy. We're going to go ahead and complete stepping stones, which is required in order to complete the water stones. So stepping stones gives us the Kyber brick, water stones gives us the character token for Maz Kanata. I think I said that right. Hopefully I said that right. Regardless, what we're going to do is just go ahead and listen to her spiel, and then we're going to run outside of the castle and over towards the landing pad. Now, in all of these sort of, quizzical type of quests, the ones that you have to solve some sort of a riddle, there's always an astromech chilling nearby, and usually you can, persuade him to give you the answer by kicking down a few studs. And that's no different this time. However, it is kind of in an awkward place. Instead of being right by the quest giver, it's actually right by the quest ender, or ending point, that is. So we're going to run all the way over towards the water here, and there's a handful of people with some info. Really, the only one we really need to talk to is this astromech in the back. And for 9,500 studs, he's going to go ahead and give us the solution. Now, for me, I went ahead and snapped a photo on my phone so that I was easily tracking this whole jump-a-thon here. But as you can see, it's pretty simple stuff. You just got to make your way across following the pattern, which happens to be fire, water, plants. And it opens up the next little path here, and then we're going to go plants, fire, water, and then last but not least, oh, wait a minute, what's that next step? It's a doze. All right, last but not least, we've got water, plant, fire, and booyah shell. It should bring up a giant chest if you did it correct. And look at that, there's that Kyber brick. We'll go ahead and jump up there and swoop it, and now we've got to return back to Maz. And I did find that if you fall into the water, it actually respawns you where you were, so try not to do that. Although later on the other side, we fall in the water and it spawns us back on the beach. So it's kind of an inconsistent action there. But regardless, we got to get back in and talk to Maz. And it's a quick conversation, and basically she just rewards us not only with, well, actually, we already got the Kyber break. Psych, I lied. We already got the Kyber break. So we're going to go ahead and collect that Maz Kanata character token. And then we're actually going to head down into the basement. That's right, we've got a few things down there. And I do believe our final task is down there too. After we get everything else done, it unlocks a final character quest. And I think it's called Unbe-Flea-Vable or something like that. It's a weird wordplay. And there's giant lava fleas we got to take out. Spoiler alert. All right, down in the basement, we've got a Kyber brick sort of tucked behind some walls. We notice that there happens to be a person standing by this gate here that is a little bit vulnerable to the Force. So we'll go ahead and use our influence, and we'll go ahead and make our way into this room. Now, fun fact for you guys. A long time ago, I had to come here for another task. We had to come here for part of the story or something where I had to get like the lightsaber out. I don't remember what it was, but we were down here. And for some reason, I ended up completing this in my PS4 save. So when I went to do my scouting this time, it wasn't available. I'd already completed it. So I had to like really stretch back the old man Brian brain and try to remember stuff from a long time ago. And so I was a little bit clunky with this particular mission. As you might have noticed, I was kind of like looking at the wall, looking at this. Oh, wait, pull this. But I finally got it. We've got our guy in here. We just need to switch to an astromech and get up to that panel. Now, I move this guy out of the way and I get stuck, and then I'm like, wait a minute, let's pull it away from the spot we need to be. Toggle on over to BB-8, BB-9, whoever you got, R2, and solve it from the inside out. You know, I won't miss these, and I'm glad, you know, for a minute after an update, there was like a couple of days where there was another layer of solving for those puzzles, and it was way more difficult than it had. For some reason, it went back, so I guess thanks to the devs for not making it extremely ridiculously hard, because I like easy. There's a lot of stuff to do, so I like it being easy peasy. All right, so another Kyber brick in our rear view. Next up, we're going to target a character quest. This one's called Cattle Crashing. And after a quick peek down here in the back corners of the basement, I do believe we have to go back upstairs, maybe all the way up. I know we got a couple of quests up in the secondary floor. I don't even know if you knew that. So we're down in the basement. Now we're up to ground level again, and there is another set of stairs that takes us up. But we're not ready for that yet, I guess. This guy's actually chilling out in the middle. So by completing, I guess, maybe that last Kyber brick, this guy spawned? That's kind of weird. He wasn't here a minute ago. I don't think so anyways. It looks like ME8D9, again, wants us to go around and start some junk. That's right. He wants us to bring the funk. Basically, what we got to do is move around up in here and target these people and sort of activate a fight, a battle royale, if you will. And I don't know why this happened. We kind of basically go up and stand and listen to some people, and then they start talking, and then all of a sudden he just like picks a fight with them. And then we got to go clean it up. Got to go take these guys down, so deplete some meters, and then go ahead and talk to Me89. I don't know if is that a wordplay for something? Am I missing something? If it is, please let me know in the comments down below. Speaking of down below, we're actually going to follow him down into the basement. And again, same process. He walks up, we talk to him, we hear some people getting their conversation on. It sounds like there's a little little bit of, I don't know, something's going on. Some shenanigans are about to go down, and he's got a knack for it. He seems to be at the right place at the right time for this. Apparently, he likes ballroom blitz, brawl room blitz. You see what I did there? Yeah, that's right. All right, let's see here. We should have them all. Now, like always, if you're in one of these situations where you got to deplete or some meters and you got bad guys spawning or coming and going, always look at that compass in the bottom left to see if there are any more red dots. That's always a dead giveaway that there's other baddies needing to be irradied. All right, back upstairs we go. In fact, I think, are we going all the way up? Nope, we're not. We're going back to the ground floor here. And is he going to park it? I can't remember. No, that's right. We got a big, that's right, a womp rat comes in. Womp, 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 womp. That was womp, womp, womp. You catch that too? I'm full of it this morning. In fact, I technically haven't had my caffeine yet, so I'm running on low fuel here. But, all right, make it around. We got to take out a few baddies. And then, of course, the ratty too, right? Mr. Tittle's down. And, of course, I'm checking my compass. I see a couple of red dots, but I'm not seeing any... Oh, wait. There's one over in this back corner. No, there isn't. What? That was weird. So sometimes the compass isn't honest with you. In this particular case, we got an all done did. Cattle crashing is complete, and we should unlock that. Oh, there it is. ME89. Is that right? ME89? I'm missing. Whatever the joke is, I don't get it. All right, up the stairs we go. In fact, we've got ourselves another double whammy. This one is going to be called the 4-LOM Conclusion and can be likely found by targeting the old ship icon, which happens to be a TIE fighter. And in this case, we happen to get a TIE bomber, the Chrome Edition. And, all right, we'll go ahead and step up to 4-LOM, and we've seen him quite a bit. In fact, just recently we helped him out. And let's see here. We got, you know a good deal when you see him. That's right. So we got to go basically find this ship up in space. Now, it's weird because we actually have to take out a bunch of other baddies, but we cannot take out this bomber. If we do, it crashes and you have to restart this mission, which isn't the end of the world, but definitely not trying to replay any of this. So we're going to have to go ahead and pull up our galaxy map and head into Takodana space. Now, be aware that while we are up here, we have not completed this. So there is a character mission right there. Don't get confused and get jumped into that because that'll just actually take more time. However, it'll also help you in the future because we'll need to get that done later, and you will already have had it done. Now, there's also a Kyber comet floating around that you got to be aware of. Now, feel free to grab it now or save it for later. It's up to you. But the goal here is to find 4-LOM and get up and close and press that icon indicated. For us, it was Cycle. And now we've got X to go ahead and make our way through this conversation. And basically, he tells us we need to lock onto that TIE fighter and then protect it. We don't want it to blow up. So just follow 4-LOM around. He's going to guide us over to that TIE. And then, like I said, there's a bunch of baddies that come in that need irradiating. Now, I found that if you press and hold the boost button, you sort of go blasting by him. But if you don't hold it, it seems like you're not going anywhere. So I was kind of stuck in limbo here. Like, do I give it some boost or not? And as you can see, barely on the left. I'm actually holding it down solid. I'm not double tapping and holding for double boost or any of that. And there's our Kyber comet out there. We'll be back for you soon. Promise. In fact, that's actually going to be the last Kyber comet in space, in the galaxy. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, this goes on for a long time. Like I said, if you're not flying, like if you're not holding down X, it seems like you're not going anywhere. And if you double tap, you go flying by him. It's just a weird sort of delayed. I don't know. There's probably like a certain spot that he needs to be to spawn the bad guys. And it's just a weird route to get there, I'm guessing. Now, as you might have noticed, I was actually Django, who we've talked about already, was a kind of a bad guy or looked at as a bad guy. So I toggled over to Anakin, who is a good guy, who will now see all of these bad guys protecting this TIE fighter, and I'll be able to attack him. So be aware of that. And all I did was tap right on the directional pad of my controller, and it allowed me to select from different characters, and they automatically just appear inside the X-Wing, which is nice. All right, there are, I believe, three groups of 4 or 5 that we got to take out. And after each one, we basically just got to follow this TIE fighter and be patient. Don't take him out. As you can see, he does have a meter on the left-hand side, as does 4-LOM in his ship. So basically, you got to protect 4-LOM, well, and sort of protect the TIE. Just don't shoot him down. Unless you want to restart and replay this over again. I can't see any benefits that would be good for that, but All right, I think that's the final one for now. Yep, we got to just follow this guy around a little bit more. Like I said, I think it's the rule of 3. I could be wrong, though. It could be 4. I think it's just 3, though. And if so, we're in luck, because we're about ready to spawn the 3rd go here. And once we take out all of these, eventually, I believe Forlom comes and takes over the ship, and it rewards us with the Forlom character token, as well as the TIE Bomber. And then I believe we actually have to pick the galaxy map up again and go ahead and choose Takodana, Maz's castle, to land back there, because it doesn't auto-deploy us like a lot of those missions do when they're done. All right, this thing just seems to go on forever. Like, it's literally like a 5.5-minute mission, and really, I feel like it could have been done in like 2 minutes. There's just a lot of like sort of downtime, sort of floating around, like, I don't know, pondering, meditation time, if you will. Listen, we're fully meditated. We just want to complete the mission already. All right, and let's see, rescue Forlom is still our task. We got, no, we don't have any. So maybe it is the rule of 4, because that was the 3rd round. There's no more TIE fighters floating around. And nope, that's Forlom. All right, so we got to go ahead and talk to him now. Once we talk to him, this is it. That's right. We'll go ahead and collect our character and our ship, and we are out of here. Go ahead and try to skip through this a little faster. Yep. Cupcake one. That was actually pretty funny. The names. A lot of the dialogue is great, you know, and I skip over a ton of it to kind of help with the time of these videos and tasks. But ultimately, I highly recommend you guys listen to them because they are very comical. All the wordplay and the puns and everything. It's sweet. All right, double whammy complete. And Maz's castle, we're about ready to reunite and collect some things. All right, we're back on the ground now. As I mentioned earlier, normally when we land on a planetary like this, we go ahead and take on the tasks nearby the landing pad. Guess what we're going to do next? Spoiler alert! We're going to take on all the bricks scattered on and around Maz's castle, and then we'll sort of finish up with the final couple of tasks inside. As I mentioned, there are a few that spawn after others are completed, kind of like that ME89. He wasn't there at first. After we completed Maz, though, he reappeared. Or maybe it was the Kyber brick down in the basement. I'm not exactly sure. Regardless, there are definitely certain sequences that need to be done before others will appear. All right, look at that. We've actually found this nice little route through the trees, and we're going to zip line down. Wee-hee! Get that Woodland wire Kyber brick done did. Next up, we're going to go ahead and take on the data card, which is right out. We were kind of out here earlier. Little different spot, though. Let's see here. Which way do I go? Which way do I go? All right, we got to make our way out and over to kind of where the Stepping Stones quest or puzzle was. And out here, we're going to find ourselves a point of grapple. Go ahead and grapple up top with your favorite grappler. And on the top of that tower is going to be a switch. Simply stand on it, and look at this. It pops up a treasure chest. Very reminiscent of Lego Worlds. I feel like that was an asset that they brought over from that. We haven't really seen many chests like this. However, this area does happen to have a few things like that. And look at that. Woo to the who. What have you done with those plans? That just simply means we have unlocked all of the data cards. And so we're good to go there. No more to collect. Next up, Kyber brick number 6. This one is called the Convoy. This one is what's a Convor? I feel like I should know the answer to that. I know what a condor is. This is certainly not a condor. We're going to follow up the trail one more time, but instead of going all the way to the back left side there, we're going to follow this front right lip. And is that an owl? That's a weird thing. We're going to go ahead and switch to somebody who can get their twirly pole on. That's right, a little twirly action. Up to the Convoy. So maybe that was a Convor. It's like sort of like an owl, sort of like a condor, but it's a I don't know. I'm sure if any of you know, you'll drop me some comments down below. All right, next up, we've got another Kyber brick, Scenic Stream. This one is actually pretty obvious. I don't know where. Like, I thought I was like looking for a grapple point to get up top there, because there is one coming up like that. But nope, this one's hiding back on this ledge. And you guessed it, right along the Scenic Stream. In fact, it's quite the beautiful little waterfall there. And we've gone ahead and collected that, so we are going to jump back and across, and we are out of there. Next up, we got another Kyber brick. In fact, you might note, too, there is a Wookiee up above us. Maybe that's what I was looking at just a second ago. We've got one of those Wookiees gone wild No, they're scattered throughout the galaxy. I believe there's 30 or 33 or something like that. We're going to collect those pretty soon, actually. That's one of the next tasks after we get done with the space for Takodana. Hey, jungle jumping, pretty easy. Get up on the one column, jump over to the other. If you're having any troubles, I recommend using a bounty hunter with their jetpack, because that'll help you jump across and clear that gap. Next up, we've got ourselves a ship token. It's the second and final ship token of the area. I recommend switching to a character that is a villain, because not only will you sneak by these stormtroopers, but you can also access this panel here. Go ahead and complete it. Your puzzle's likely going to be different than ours, but maybe it matches up. Once you get it done, it's going to open up the back hatch and allow us to swoop that atmospheric assault lander, which I believe is what that vehicle is that we just unlocked. Pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, next up, we got ourselves another Kyber brick. In fact, it is up top. It's called the Crusty column. You know, I told you there was a couple of these up top. This one requires a grappler, though, so Vader is not going to do the job for us. And, ooh, I got in a funny angle there. Wouldn't let me switch characters. Sometimes you find yourself where you're, like, in a spot where your character's just not able to spawn somebody else, and that's likely due to just the space around you. All right, check this out. We've got one way over in the corner here. This one's called the Drenched Delight. It requires us to jump up on that lever and pull it down, but it's way up there. Luckily for us, we can grapple up to these handhelds and rip that bad boy down, which should open up the door on the cage down below. Look at that. Woo to the woo. Kyber brick for both me and you. All right, we got 10 of the Kyber bricks done did. We got that data card already. We got all the ships, so, I mean, we're kind of... I mean, we got a lot of Kyber bricks left, don't get me wrong, but we only got a couple of characters and, of course, a handful of bricks, so that's good. All right, this next one is called the Backwoods Blasting. There are 4 targets sort of scattered throughout over by the old water here. In fact, one of them is kind of hiding behind a rock up on a wall by the water. Go ahead and shoot the debris off, freeing the target. Make sure you know where all of them are. I highly recommend using a bounty hunter due to the extra pew-pews that come out. It's a triple burst. Sometimes you might miss that first shot, and the second or third might land. It just gives you better odds. Get all 4 of those targets done did in the time allotted, and then it should open up the cage and allow you to get that brick. We'll go ahead and take out them trays. I guess bushes. Backwoods blasting. Done did. All right, next up, another Kyber brick. This one is going to require us to go a little bit back over closer to the main area. So I guess we're done over there. And we'll go ahead and target this one on... This one's kind of by where we landed. And it's pretty simple stuff. We just got to go ahead and, I believe, use a grappler to get up top there. And once we's up there, we've got... I think it's the big fire one. Is this the big fire one? Yeah, it is. All right, so there's a giant fire over to the right. And let's see here. First Ordnance survey. Really, all we need to do is get up top. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to stand on one of these boxes with character number 1. I'm going to toggle to character number 2 and try to figure out which way do I go? Which way do I go? Once I figure that out, I'm going to grapple or jump up the handhelds here. And what we need is a character with the Force and another character that is a droid. So I'm going to switch on over to, well, it doesn't matter who you are, BB-8, BB-9. We're going to go ahead and lift up and toggle over to the droid. And look at that. First Ordnance survey, easy peasy. There's a couple of different ways you can do that. Obviously, you could put a character on a box, lift the box, but it's so much easier to just to lift the droid or the bot. You can lift a box or a bot. Lift a bot. Do, 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 do. All right, next up, another Kyber brick. This one is over on the side here. Lots of stuff out, actually, in this area, including a bunch of super pluggables. And speaking of plugs, I do believe this is the one. Yep, this is the one that has 3 pressure-sensitive switches. 2 of them are actually up top right by the gate. So we're going to recommend you get up top and switch to a protocol droid. Split yourself in half. Put 1/2 on one switch and 1/2 on the other. And then toggle to your second character, which should be down on the ground below you. Now, I get a little jump happy here, and I make my way up, and I'm just basically going to follow the cable down. I was literally standing right by it, but it was a funny angle, so I didn't see it. And that's the best way to find it. So now I'm going to toggle back up to my halfie up top. That's right, and move on over, reassemble. That's what we do's, and booyakashow. We got that Kyber break too. Rocky reward, now ours. All right, next up, guess what? Another Kyber break. brick. This one is out in the water. We're going to recommend a bounty hunter with that jetpack because it's going to help you get across these giant gaps. We got a big jump here, and you do it just right. I always run. I like take a step or two and click the run, which usually just makes you go, well, I don't think you actually click run. I think it just happens after you take 2 or 3 steps in a jump. Maybe you can click it. I always click it. I'm so used to like FPS games and stuff. I'm always clicking. But jump out there on a wing and a prayer. And this is what I was saying earlier. You jump in the water, it actually respawns you back on the beach, which when we were doing that stepping stones ones, it actually put you back on the stepping stone. So kind of a funny inconsistency. All right, we got another Kyber brick hiding under a silver chest here. So we're going to have to pull out a villain character and yeet one of those thermal grenades. That's right. Detonate that grenade and collect your Kyber brick. Pirate Queen's Plunder. That's an interesting name for a brick. All right, now we're going to wrap around the back side of the castle. Now, keep in mind, there are these boxes with red glowing bits. Those are super pluggables. There are 5 of those scattered throughout, and it's actually the last task we do on this area. Now, we're going to go ahead, like I said, make our way around the back side of the castle. Almost made that jump. Really, I was trying to grapple up to that point there. Inside, we're actually going to drop over to the right and find ourselves a Kyber brick just sort of chilling there. I do believe we have to remove some debris. Yeah, there's some debris up here. And we should be able to drop it like it's hot inside and collect that bad boy. Now, I didn't mark it right away because there's a bunch of bricks and I didn't want to tag the wrong one. So I waited till I got close and I knew which one it was, and we mocked it. Now we can go ahead and blast off the wall there, which gives us easy access out of here. Another one of those super pluggables. Save that for later, or feel free to grab it now if you want. It's up to you how you want to handle that. Now, that being said, if you grab it now, you'll save yourself some time having to come back out here later, but it might also confuse at sometimes. There's only 5 of them, so it shouldn't be a problem, but anytime there's like 10 or 20 of those things, I always recommend not getting them, out of order, because it's just so hard to remember which ones you do and don't have, and why isn't it there? Did I get it already, or is the game glitched? I'm not sure. All right, there's the 5th and final one. Hey, look at that. We've got ourselves a socket, so we need a fuse. Turns out there are 2 purple pluggables on the map. One happens to be right around the corner here, hiding behind a box. We'll go ahead and swoop that up and slam it into that socket. And if you noticed on the map when I pulled it up, as I mentioned, there are 2 of those fuses, which means there's probably 2 sockets. And it turns out both the fuse and the socket are out on this little island out here. So we'll go ahead and make our way over there. And eventually we find the fuse hiding there. Yep. Hello, fuse. You're coming with us. We'll go ahead and slam you in here. And booyakashow, we have officially lit up the cage. And it should open it up and give us that energizing island. Now, a lot of the bricks that are like this, where you have to do some tasks to open up a cage, often, if you don't get close enough to it, it'll automatically reward you with the brick. This kind of not allowing you to forget it or miss it, which is a great task. But I wasn't sure. I felt like there was a few seconds and it wasn't ringing off, so I made a mad dash for it and got it. All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and take out this rumor real quick, and then I think I accidentally talked to the rumor again, but we're going to take on the Flying the Flags. Now, fun fact for you guys, I got so lucky with this. I didn't know what I was doing, and on my scout, I literally was like, what if I push the left one? Let's just see what it does. And it moved those. I was like, okay. Well, I don't know why, but I feel like the second one isn't good, so let's skip that one. I literally just guessed, and I went 1, 3, 4. And guess what? 1, 3, 4 is it. So I'm not exactly sure what I was even looking for. If I'm being totally honest, like I'm looking at the flags, I don't see any kind of pattern or anything that stands out to me that makes it seem like it was completed right. But I did 1, 3, 4 from left to right, and it worked. So I recommend you do the same. Hey, there's a Kyber brick hiding over here in the debris. In fact, this one's called debris digging. It's pretty simple. You probably saw this one earlier. Maybe swooped it, maybe not. Either way, grab it now. And I think we're going to head on top of the castle next, as we have not really been up on top. We've been inside, upstairs, downstairs, all around, but we have not been on the roof. There's actually a handful up here. This next one, I have a little bit of a Brian fart, more commonly known as a brain fart, but because I'm Brian, that's just how it works. We're going to go ahead and use the handhelds to get up to the first level here, and we're going to target this brick in the back right corner. And to get up there, we need to use some twirly poles, so hopefully you got a twirler out. We'll make our way up, get to that ladder, hang a hard right all the way down. Now, this is where the brain fart happens. I sort of am looking for a trigger point to open this door because I couldn't remember how to open the door. Guess what? Fun fact, you walk up to it and it opens. Unusual. Often you have to take out a target, stand on a switch, or do something to open a door that isn't already open. So a little bit of a whoop-de-doo there, but good news for you. I edited out all the which way do I go moments, and we go ahead and got it done did. All right, inside this newly found area, basically all we need to do is have one character stand on the switch and the other character take out the target. Now, you notice I didn't yeet a saber. I actually used the push force to take it out, which is nice, which means you could probably stand on the switch and use the push force and only have to use one character, which I didn't try myself, but, you know, it might be worth giving a go. All right, next up, we've got another Kyber brick. In fact, this is kind of a double whammy as it one leads to another here, and it's going to require some grapplage, so we're going to pull out old Django. And up we go. Up top here, we've got Shag, Kava, Cache. I'm not really sure what that means. We're going to make a death-defying jump up here, though, and we're going to kind of lean towards the left side of this giant tower so we can get our grapple on. Now, there are other ways to get up here, but I find that they just take too long, and I'm not trying to do that. Now, before I get all the way up there and collect the brick, I wanted to show you real quick on the map which one it was we were grabbing. So I went ahead and mocked it. We'll go ahead and shimmy all the way around, get to that grapple point, and once it pops up, we'll jump up and swoop it. Ooh, I almost overshot the brick there, but the tallest tower is now ours. Now, this next brick, you can see it down below, right above old Django's head there. There's actually a jump point over kind of up to the right of where it is, where you're supposed to use a scavenger to fly out there. But I'm going to try my glider skills here, and guess what? I nail it first go. Now, if you don't want to jump all the way out here, you can see the old ramp over, it's right by the red hanging flag there. It's just over to the right of where we are. I'm going to plummet to my doom and collect that swoop around the statue brick whilst doing it. And then I'm going to quickly toggle back up to my character up top just to save myself some time. And look at that. What? Ray is already up here. That's kind of crazy. It really has been a crapshoot to whether or not your secondary character will follow you around or be where you need to be or any of that. Like, sometimes they're right there, spot on, always where you, and other times they are so far behind they don't even know where they are. All right, fun fact, I got a little bit confused here again. I've got a brick tag. For some reason, I was not seeing where to go. Although now it's finally showing me. There are some net spots on the wall there for the net launcher, but I've got a little trick for you. We're going to go ahead and stand on this box and look up, and we can actually tag that grapple point and skip the net launcher. So, again, another one of those spots where, like, basically you need to do extra stuff, and we skip on over it to hopefully speed it up for not only us, but you too. Up at the top, you're going to need to go ahead and melt some gold with your favorite bounty hunter. Pretty easy stuff. We got that shattered Spire brick, and we are out of here. Now, there's a giant gap here. I can't quite make it with the jetpack, so we'll plummet and fall down on the roofs again. And look at that. Next is the rooftop dropper. This one is actually going to require us to use some twirly poles, which are right there on the flags. And as you probably noticed, there was an edit there because I jumped down below like a maroon, thinking I had to go down there. But it turns out you just have to jump up and grab these flags here and twirl your way all the way up. Now, we are actually standing on the little ramp that I mentioned earlier, that if you were having troubles getting that other Kyber brick, the one that was a swoop around the statue, that's definitely the place to do it from. This one's pretty simple, though. Just go ahead and drop off. It's like a total, what do they call it, a trust fall? I don't know if I was trusting that balcony down below, but it worked. I got it. And if you missed it, definitely toggle to your other character by hitting R1, L1, whatever it is for you. And you should have a second go at it without having to climb all the way back up. All right, inside Maz's castle, we got ourselves another double whammy. Now, this is another one of those missions that actually has some requirements, so you have to get some other things done in the area first before it'll spawn, because we've already been down here, and he was not here. But Grummgar is ready to go, and this is the one that, well, he takes us on, I like the name of it, He'll Feel That in the Morning, right? Like he'll feel that in the morning. Basically, we're going to go take on a lava eel. But first, we got to actually do some due diligence. We got to ask the locals if they've seen any eels. So there's a handful of peeps that we'll talk to. And then eventually, we get a nice tip. And it's actually pretty funny because as we get the tip, old Grummgar shows up and he's like, what is that you say? Like, watch, it's coming up pretty quick here. It's in the other room around the corner. He pops up and he's like, watch. It's sort of comical, but also kind of creepy. Watch this. Ready? What? A lava eel, you say? And so basically, we find out that we need to go to Mustafar? I know everybody clowns me for how I say it, and everyone thinks they know how to say it. I don't think anybody knows how to say this proper. Just so we're clear. I've heard some of the characters in-game call it Mustafar. Some of them call it Mustafar. I've tried to call it both, and I've been clowned for it as well. So regardless, we're going to go ahead and land on the mining complex. There we go. And we're going to head off to the left-hand side. We're going to look up and grapple to the top plug. If you don't make it there, it's okay. There's a couple below that'll help you get up top. And we're basically just going to make our way all the way over to that corner where, well, actually we go by it. We were here not long ago for, what was it, the trampoline mission for Bosk. And it was actually right over to our left. So we're going to run right by that and drop down below. Now watch this next step because it's a doozy. I got lucky there. I almost plummeted to my doozy. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and make our way to the very back corner, wrap around. There is another point of contact that gives us a tip. Basically, the tip is, don't go back in that corner. We don't listen, though. In fact, I don't even talk to him because I knew that he was just basically giving me a warning. We wrap around this giant staircase here. And as we find the straight stretch here, there's Grummgar waiting for us in the back. And as we approach him, we have a quick conversation, and this giant eel pops up. Now, in my scouting run on the PS4 save, I actually tried a few different things. I tried thermal grenades, I tried saber yeet, and I tried a bounty hunter blaster. And to be honest with you, I found a pretty sweet trick that helped significantly. And that's going to be to use a bounty hunter, and it's going to be to shoot and target the base of where the eel is. Now, you can be kind of drawn to shoot at its face or its head as it swoops around, but it moves way too much. It's hard to target, and I find that you have less time to hit those up top too. And if you notice, I'm getting multiple shots on each time at the base, and sometimes even before it shows up or after it goes away. So that meter is getting depleted like nobody's biz. And it won't be long before we get to collect our character token and our Kyber Briz. All right, so like I said, bounty hunter, aim for the bottom, and booyaka show. Now, I jump out there because it looks like you're going to have to use the collect icon, but it turns out that's not the case at all. So just stay up here, talk to Grummgar, and then we're going to have to return on our own to Takodana. So we are going to get rewarded with a character token for him and the Kyber brick, and we're going to hang out long enough just to ensure that we both see those pop them up. That's right, there's Grummgar and then the Kyber brick. Once we get that Kyber brick, we're going to pull up our galaxy map and, of course, going to head back on over to Takodana, Maz's castle. And look at that, we only have 2 Kyber bricks and 2 character tokens left. And ironically, this next one is actually a double whammy. We get a character token and a Kyber brick for taking on the Kanjiklub Recruitment. This is another one of those kind of longer, lengthier missions. And as a result, they give us a double reward or double whammy. So we're going to make our way back into the castle as that's where the next mission is. In fact, I think we pop up the map. No, we go inside first. All right, inside we go, and nothing's showing up yet, so we're going to head up the stairs. We know that there was one up here to our left, because that's where, when we were talking to the rumor givers for that last quest, there happened to be one in that room. Now, wait a minute. I go to the left. Oh, he is there. I was thinking it was a display glitch. Not a display glitch. All right, this is Tasu Leech, and he wants us to go do some recruitment. So we're going to have to fly all over the place. In fact, we go to like 2 or 3 different planets. We have to take on a couple of fights. There's actually a glitch that happens too, and ironically, it's in a similar spot to where we've seen other glitches that have happened. You know, I've had a couple of situations, and for whatever reason, it's always seemingly one of the last quests that I do for an area. So in my case, if it's broken and it doesn't work, my only chance to save that file or that video is to revert my save and then re-record and replay that whole area. I don't want to do that, especially like right now we've been 40 minutes in or so of gameplay, and that's editing a lot of travel time and other things out. So I don't want to replay this again, but as it turns out, I've got a nice little trick for you that works. We've had to use it before in the past, and it worked again today. So outside of the castle, we found our first group of baddies. We're going to go ahead and take them down and have a quick conversation. Looks like they are wanting and willing to join the Kanjiklub, so we are good to go. Next up, we got to choose either Mos Eisley or, what was the other one? I forget. Anyways, Mos Eisley it is. We're going to go ahead and land on Tatooine and make our way around. And there's a couple of rumor givers. I think I run right by them. Basically, we got to run right over to where the cantina is. And I've been around here before, so I know my ways around. And I skipped the commenter. And then eventually, I think the waypoint marker stops. Like, look, it's not guiding me anymore. Luckily, I know where I'm going. Once we get there, we actually find that there are, just like before, a couple of baddies out there scrapping it up. We're going to go ahead and deplete the meter and have a conversation with them. However, this particular time, for some reason, I depleted the meter, which actually isn't even showing, if I'm being honest. And it tells me to come up close, but like nothing's happening. Like I'm not able to talk to him. I thought it might have something to do with the character I was, so I switched to a good guy. Still nothing, right? So I'm like destroying stuff in the background with the push force, trying to knock. So here's what I did. I ran inside the cantina. Then we're gonna bounce right back out. And look at that. He's chilling. We're gonna go ahead and deplete a meter that is there this time. And now we are able to talk to him. Fun fact for you, this happened to me on my PS4 save as well as my PS5, so it isn't necessarily a console-specific thing. However, there is a solution by simply going in. Now, if that doesn't work, I recommend flying up into Tatooine space and then re-landing on Mos Eisley and then running back over there. That should do it. You know, it's that old IT crowd. You know, have you tried turning it off and on again? You know, that solution works way more often than you would want it to. But, all right, we got a rumor giver right up front. He tells us to go. I actually think I make a wrong turn when I jump off. I sort of take a leap of faith here off the ledge. And although I do good, I make it all the way down to the ground. I think I needed to go to the left right there, but I went to the right, which is all right. It doesn't matter. You're going to get there no matter what. Same scenario is going to happen here. We're going to find a bunch of people fighting. We have to deplete some meters, have a quick conversation. And then at that point, it should actually take us back to Maz's castle. And once we do that, we have a little conversation. We get rewarded with a character token for Tasu, Leech, as well as Kyber Brick 28. There we go. Sounds fun. Why not? All right, here we are. Now, there was a quick little travel time removed there, but you guys understand that by now, I'm pretty sure. All right, so we only have one more character quest for this particular area, and then one more Kyber Brick. So we already know that the Kyber Brick is outside. We got to go take out those 5 super pluggables, which are the black chests with the red markings on them. And the last character token is actually found inside Maz's castle down in the basement, and it's given to us by Bazine Natal. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Turn around. Got to go back down the stairs. And this one is called Unbe-Flea-Vable. This one's actually kind of funny as a bunch of lava fleas spawn in this room. You simply need to take down 3 of them. That's right. It's the rule of 3 yet again. And once you take them all down, we're going to get that character token for Bazine. Am I saying that right? Bazine? Bazina. Wait a minute. Bazina. It's like Bazinga. No? No. Okay. Boo. Lava flea number 1, though. What is up? In this particular case, I found that the blaster works pretty good, simply just landing shots and sort of strafing to your left or right if they are paying attention to you, because they will attack you. As you can see there, I'm just sort of making my way over to the left, and he could not hit me with my crazy tactics. That's right, I got moves like Django. All right. Next up, we've got fleet number 2. Same process. We're just going to go ahead and get the pew-pew on, strafe to the left or right, depending on where you're at, and avoid any of those attacks. And booyaka shout. 2 done, 1 to go. And let's see here. Last but not least, it is the fleece. All right, we got half the meter depleted, and guess what? We are done dead. I'll take that character token now. Thank you very much. Look at him hiding back there. Love the outfit, too, by the way. Very stylish. Unbe-Flea-Vable, done dead. All right, last but not least, if you have not already taken out the giant boxes, the super pluggables outside around the castle, now is the time to get her done. There happens to be one right by the front entrance. In fact, we've run by it a handful of times. Every time we come and go from our ship into the castle, we run right by it. You can see, though, there are 5 scattered throughout, simply right around the castle. And because they are so scattered, I did go ahead and include the individual quick links for them. So, first one, you saw it as soon as you got off the ship. And we finally took it down. How is that? Like, think about how many times we've been here. Think about all the times I could have accidentally got it or whatever. It could have grabbed and didn't. That's pretty amazing. Like, I'm pretty proud of myself that I have the, the patience to hold on that long. All right, second one is just wrapped around the backside, which we have definitely been here before. There's a quick little jump around the corner here, which might be a little trickier than I made it look there, but you should have no problem getting around. Third one is legit right in the very back of the castle. And now we got to trudge our way across a couple of TIE fighter sides here, the old wings, which will help us get around to the back corner of the castle. So we're wrapping around the side now. And Booyaka Shao, there is number 4. And okay, last but certainly not least, the final super pluggable. I think we do a little celebratory jump here. Because it's going to ring off not only, it's going to ring off a couple trophies, too, for us, right? We're finishing the area and also getting ready. Here we go. We got the interior for completing the galaxy area. And, of course, we got smashing the supplies none did for getting all 5 of those. And see ya around, kid, which is the complete all of the events in the galaxy. That's pretty awesome. So we got all the planetary stuff done. You can see here 29-29, 1 of 1, 2 of 2, and 6 of 6, giving us that 100%. And it's time to move on. We got one more space level, and then we've got a couple of challenges that need to get completed. And then we've got trophy achievement cleanup. Well, of course, we got capital ships in there, too. That's part of our getting the rest of the ship tokens. So anyways, guys, much love. As always, until next time.